Hello and welcome to the SYLBOURNE Show. Today we have a very inspiring entrepreneur, all female, joining us and all coming up on the show. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this interesting show with Zoe Bennett. Now, Zoe, I want to thank you for still being here with us. You didn't go anywhere. That's fantastic. Now, that was really interesting what we've been talking about. And Zoe, I want to talk to you more about, you are now the founder of the Midland Business and Community Charity Awards, MVCC Award. What was your motivation for starting the organization, and what does the awards ceremony aim to recognize, and when is it?
Okay, so first of all, it's on the 29th of October.
29th of October.
At the Copthorne Hotel, Merry Hill. That's in the West Midlands.
Can I just stop you there? I'm glad something is happening in the Midlands, because they always say everything is happening in London, and people always complain and say, there's things happening beyond my M25. Please, carry on.
Yes, so the reason why I decided to do the MVCC Awards is because I wanted to say thank you to my MP. He was the one who actively, in my eyes, he saved my life. I had received an official letter from the government of Jamaica that was sent to the Foreign Office saying that I had to go over to Jamaica. But at the time I was having death threats saying that if I stepped foot in Jamaica, they'd send a gunman for me. My MP stepped in and chaired a meeting at the Foreign Office, and after he did that, the trial eventually went ahead after all the postponements, and then the conviction was 40 years to life without parole. So I wanted to recognise and value unsung heroes, and to me he was. My father was my unsung hero. He started the first West Indian Sports and Social Club in my grandmother's living room with his friends.
What's the name of it?
It's Jalgos Sports and Social Club in Preston, and him and his friends started that. And my dad was very community spirited, and he was an unsung hero. So I wanted to just honour him as well as honour Gavin Williamson, MP, who is Theresa May's parliamentary secretary, with some kind of award ceremony just to really highlight what he's done. So at the same time, giving a platform to just ordinary people from the business world and the community world also to be recognised and valued by people that they've touched. So when people feel that they've gone the extra mile, you know, each day without asking anything in return. And the most important thing is every single penny is going to charity that's being raised from the MVCC Awards. Not a single person is keeping any of that money whatsoever. And
what is interesting, when we spoke a long time about this award, is that every person who is actually contributing is contributing out of the goodness of their heart as well. Yeah,
well, majority of the businesses, apart from one who's discounted, well, two, the hotel discounted significantly, and the AV, everyone else has donated their time, services and skills, from the website to the videography, to the photography, to the graphic designer, to the dressing of the room. Everybody has donated the services and time complimentary.
Yeah, so you have it's a very diverse crowd, isn't it? A diverse set of awardees, isn't
Completely. We have diverse, all races. We have Brad Burton, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker, co-hosting the event with Parmi Deenza, and she's the founder of Include Me Too, disability charity. We have the best magician, award-winning magician, slightly unusual, Craig Petty, performing on the night. We have a motivational speaker, Samuel Leeds, #1 Amazon bestseller. We have Sandra Godley for UCB Radio, and also a MOBO nominee. We have a Ghanaian male opera singer.
Can I come and do a rap?
You can do what you
For the people in the place.
It's about bringing people together. So we also have Aaliyah, who's up and coming. So we're also giving people who haven't been established or founded a chance also to shine. Yes, it's all about giving everyone a platform. We have all nominees and finalists now from all backgrounds, whether Asian, black or white. So it is all about inclusion. It's about not discriminating. It's about just saying, I'm fed up of seeing all this segregation, that you have to either be in one camp or the other.
That's very interesting. But then do you see or do you feel or have you been attacked for not doing only black?
You know, people have made comments, but that's their opinion, and people are entitled to their own opinion. And as long as I know I'm doing what is right, and I'm all about inclusion, then I will carry on. If I'd listened to people telling me, oh, well, you can't win against the government of Jamaica, then I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be helping anyone. MBCs wouldn't have happened. You can't always, just because someone tells you to do something, that you do it. You have to use your own mind where mindset comes in and persevere. That's
powerful, and that's what I was going to say. The mindset is very crucial. Now, Zoe, you're talking about giving awards. What awards? You've recently received some awards. I think you're getting awards every week recently. That's why I kept saying, can you send me an updated bio each week?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, just yesterday I was notified that I'm a finalist for the Black African Women Rocks Award for the Most Outstanding Female of the Year Award. I have been awarded the Human Excellency Award from the United Nations Mission of International Relations. I've been awarded Career Woman of the Year from the All Women Achievers Awards. I've been awarded the Most Influential Businesswoman in the West Midlands by Acquisition International. I've just been recognised from Womanhood Global for Inspirational Woman of the Year as well. And I'm up for an award for the Women of Purpose on the 22nd of October, back down here in London. So, yeah.
So therefore, do you see yourself, I mean, you know, many times people put themselves up as a mentor or as a role model, or sometimes people by default are placed in that category. Do you put yourself forward as a role model? Do you stand up and say, I'm a role model?
By default, I feel, I haven't stood up and shouted, oh, look at me, I'm a role model. People, generally, the word that keeps coming out when people refer to me is inspirational. So I do a lot of speaking, I do a lot of public speaking, I do a lot of motivational speaking. And when people are posting on social media, the response is, how amazing, how inspirational, how now it's given me the drive to go forward. For instance, when I was on UCB radio earlier in this week, the caller came in and says, you've made me realise that now I need to stop procrastinating and get on and do it, and I will now set up the business that I wanted to. So it's touching people's lives without me realising, which is nice.
I think society has reached to a point now, and people are recognising now that procrastination can only stop by just doing it now. And recently, I have also been saying, Barack Obama said, yes, we can. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest. My thing is just saying, just do it. Simple, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And that is something which is really resonating based on what you're saying. And I'm inspired. I mean, I know you and I've been speaking to you, but just actually having you in my quarters on the red chair, it's really very inspirational. And I want to really thank you so much. And I'm sure people will be blessed by just listening. Now, I want to go up to Zoe, to my opening, where I mentioned about your views on people abstaining from vote, and what is your advice if any people feel that the democratic system is failing them? How do you persevere through effect actual change? But I also want to bring that to you again, because what you just said earlier about the MP and Theresa May,
Parliamentary
Secretary, played a very fundamental role there. So what's your view about voting then?
It's necessary. You know, how can you expect anything to change if you don't stand up and have your vote be counted? And I always say that, you know what, you've got to stop doing the talking and walk the walk. You know, if you want something to change, you make it happen. Don't wait for somebody else to say, okay, well, I'm leading the way, are you coming with me? Why not you then say, no, let me then guide you, and let me then do something about the way that I view society. If you don't like something, then change it.
I'm going to go into politics now, because, you know, sometimes people say that where I live, the MP is a very good guy, but he's conservative, and I don't like conservative, but he's a very good guy. And then they will not want to vote that way because they want a Labour government, but the MP is a very good guy. What do you believe that people should be voting for that MP who's doing the work, or you should vote on a national level?
Well, that's just really small-minded, isn't it, really, if you think about it? Surely it should be about what they're standing for, and surely it's about, because if they've got some policies and procedures in place that you believe in yourself, and just because they're a Conservative MP, you're going to say that you're not going to vote, that's silly. If you actually look into that, look into yourself individually as people, that is really silly.
Yes, yes.
You know?
And like with America now, you know, with what is happening now with America with the presidential election, Trump, and I remember Barack Obama said to people one time, he said, don't boo, vote. And he said, if you want to impress me, vote, you know what I mean?
It's easy just to do all the negative connotations.
Yes.
It's harder to stand up and actually do things positively. And if you haven't got anything good to say, don't say it at all. If you haven't got anything good to do, just sit back and be quiet and let all the good people coming through do what they need to do.
Yes.
You know, stop sabotaging people. You know, and that's what I'm finding. I don't like it. I really don't like individuals sabotaging others because of their unfounded views and the ignorant views. If you've got an ignorant view, don't share it. Just, you know, that's what I've got to say.
Well, permit me to sort of dig a bit into politics, which this wasn't shared with you. Brexit. You know, what are your thoughts, Zoe? And I tell you why I say that, because I think it is so important that people do not just hear the typical pundits on these views, but hear the average, I know you're not average, but hear the average person on these views. What's your views on Brexit?
My view on Brexit is that it is so telling, the results. People now are saying from the results they didn't realise exactly what they were voting for.
Yes.
And they thought it was all about immigration. That in itself shows how ignorant a lot of people in society are. Before they found out what the real points were and look at the consequences of those votes, whether it was staying in or going out, that made a fool out of England. It really has. It's made a fool out of the people in England, as far as I'm concerned, because they weren't voting on a valid vote. They were voting on a perceived immigration vote when it actually wasn't down to that. You know, when they're talking about the NHS, they were saying that, well, if we come out, then the money will be spent on the NHS. Within a week, they said, oh, no, actually, that's not happening. So come on now, is that something that is transparent? I believe in making things transparent, being transparent. And if you can't buy into somebody who's transparent, you need to leave them alone. And if you can't buy into them, you set your own organisation up, you set your own party up, and then you have people follow you and do the right thing in society.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I knew there was some politics inside of her. That's why I brought that point up. So we could have gone on further now. That's for another show. So easy, Tiger.
I know, whoa, Nelly.
No, though, that's very interesting, and it's cool because I really think it's so important that persons really just actually attach their minds, their mindset to the politics of today, because whatever the politicians do has a direct or indirect effect upon us. Now, finally, before we go, Zoe, as I said before, we always ask someone what is their favorite. I know you got a lot. What's your favorite mantra word? But what would you say is the key one that you leave with us today?
Okay, the key is do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You know, if you want to be treated in a nice way, you have to treat people nicely. You know, and if you treat people awfully, you should expect that to happen to you. So if everyone just said, look, let me put myself in somebody else's shoes and see how life is, then life would be a lot nicer, a lot better place to live in.
Fantastic.
And for instance, what's happened to me, had they thought about it, and if they were in my shoes, would they have liked to be treated the way I was treated? They wouldn't have treated me the way they did. Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard what Zoe said, and what I gather from this particular show is about the mindset, the power of the mind, and how what you do today and how you think can actually transform and change how you think tomorrow. But she also went further by saying, do unto others as you like them to do unto you. And that's very powerful. It's like the biblical command that says, love your neighbor as yourself. Am I right, Zoe?
I'm 100%.
Fantastic. Well, Zoe, I want to thank you so much for joining us
on
the SYLBOURNE Show. And let this not be the last, let it be the start of a massive relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, to know more about Zoe, please visit our website at sylbourne.com and also her website, which we're going to put down there as well. Thank you again for joining us, and remember to share, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, SYLBOURNE TV, as well as our other social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and see you next time. Thank you. Join the SYLBOURNE TV network at the Business and Community Charity Awards 2016 in Birmingham. This event will be held at the Copton Hotel, Maryhill in Berryhill, on the 29th of October 2016 at 6 p.m. to 1 p.m. and you'll see us having interviews with key guests as we present Even in Review in Birmingham at that date. Thank you. Hi, thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share and like, and don't forget to comment, but first subscribe. No, I'm like Zoe. Thank you so much, you know. Zoe, you know. Zoe, breath of God. Is it breath of God? What Zoe mean?